I want more customer complaints. Am I crazy? Why would anyone want more customer complaints? I think the customer complaints and how you handle them are hugely important to any business if you want to improve. Let me tell you why. It may be apocryphal, but I seem to remember reading that there was a plant manager at Toyota somewhere who was less than impressed when his QA team told him that, as a result of very hard work, they'd managed to dramatically reduce their daily number of non-conformance reports, or NCRs, from 10,000 per day. Yeah, you heard that right. Down to something like 7,000. I mean, who wouldn't celebrate that, right? The QA team was rightfully jubilant, but the manager was less than impressed. He said, "Well done, but you don't understand. I want 10,000 per day all the time. Now go away and increase the line speed until you get 10,000 per day again. Otherwise, I'll have to let 30% of my QA team go and we'll never increase our efficiency." Now, the moral of the story is that sometimes to be able to remain competitive, you have to push your team harder and harder until mistakes start to happen. You then go in and by fixing the problems, doing more training, doing more Gemba walks, you clear all of the roadblocks out of the way and speed up some more, until again, you start hitting more problems. Here at Star, we've been pushing for efficiency for years, and like many companies, we're also pushing to improve our on-time delivery, or OTD, so as to reduce the number of customer complaints. Well, we've done pretty well so far, but it got to the point where out of every 1,000 line items shipped each month, we were only getting, on average, 10 customer complaints, or about 1% per line item. And that's pretty damn good for my industry, which can range up to as bad as 30%. Of the complaints we receive, about 1/3 were misunderstandings on the part of the client. Maybe we could have done a better job of managing the client's expectations. About 1/3 a 50-50 responsibility, part the customer, part us. And the final third are wholly our own fault. Now, we have a wonderful chap here who deals with all of these complaints, what we call customer feedback. And he takes them all through the 8Ds process, which is part of lean manufacturing. Now, I'm not going to explain 8Ds here, that's for another video, but you can see a quick description on the screen now. In recent years, the team has been digging much deeper than we'd ever done before, allowing the tentacles of the 8D process to go even deeper into the beast. And as a result, we've seen many fabulous opportunities to gain significant efficiencies and improvements. And given the brutal inflationary environment in which we find ourselves, this is even more pressing than ever. So it was after seeing all of these improvements that I said to our chap, how do we get more customer complaints? Or more customer feedback, or something like them? Can we start adding in mildly negative comments from customers, things that the customers might have said that would normally have gone unreported as a complaint? Can we do another voice of customer survey and take comments from there? Can we get the sales guys making formal complaints out of minor issues? Can I start putting in my own comments and feedback through the 8D system? Now, we already put our internal manufacturing NCRs through a similar process, but I really wanted to improve our service from the customer's viewpoint and that of my salespeople. What we've managed to do since then is to up the number of customer-derived 8Ds that we carry out each month to around 30, and therefore we've tripled the number of opportunities to improve. Every business in the world that is being honest gets customer complaints, and sure, they ain't fun. I get it. When I was a younger guy in business, I really hated receiving customer complaints, and back in the 90s, some of my guys even gave me the nickname of ICBM. Now, anyone of my age group will know what that means. It actually means Intercontinental Ballistic Missile. And if I was pissed, to use an American expression, they joked that the silo lid was open. Boom. Well, I'm older and maybe wiser now. And I'm not saying that some customer complaints don't get under my skin. They do. But I take a much more philosophical view of the process these days. Certainly Lean and the 8Ds have really helped to turn the customer complaint experience into a structured, professional process. And as a result, you know at the end of the day that those black clouds will always have a silver lining, just like my gran used to say. She also used to say, you look after the pennies and the pounds will look after themselves. Well, maybe every customer complaint is a golden penny. Now, if your customer complaints are getting very low, there are possibly two things happening. On the one hand, you may be doing an awesome job improving quality. So congratulations. Or maybe people are hiding those complaints from you, and that ain't good. So if you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, and you really care about customer service and product quality, you should consider every customer complaint or mildly negative comment as a huge opportunity to improve. And one awesome way of doing that is to put in place a genuinely approachable and professional customer complaint mechanism and encourage all of your people to take a positive attitude towards any kind of customer feedback or complaint. So, go find some more golden pennies. Well, that's all we have time for today. So thanks for watching and listening, and I'll see you guys again soon with another Factory Insights video. Factory Insights with Gordon Stiles.